Join us now for a full tour of the all-new BMW X6. Let's go! The front is stronger than before, and as with all recent new BMWs, the double kidney is even wider, especially in this case fits to the X6. Here with a special unique function that it can also be illuminated. You can check it out in our Venta Black episode where we could really very see this illumination that is even allowed in Germany. Pretty interesting. The length is at 4.93 meters, 16'2" or 195 inches, so slightly longer than the X5, but overall same wheelbase, same platform, approximately the same length, just a little overhang because of the spoilers. That's different to the Mercedes GLE Coupe, which is 6 centimeters shorter in wheelbase than the SUV counterpart, but BMW thought that doesn't make such a difference. Wheels come with 19 to 22-inch wheels, so only big ones for the X6. Those ones here are the biggest actually. This is also the M Sport badge, so there's the M Sport line or also the X line when you want a little bit more off-roadish look. The M Sport line, of course, is somewhat standard here for the M50i model, the sporty one, also with those fake out airtags. In this case, they are shut off. Yeah, always about those rears of the SUV coupes, and as we've seen the Studio Venta Black color, this part you could not really realize. Now we can with the normal paint. You can see here how the design lines shape up there. It's not a simple or clear design, definitely something to think about. The tail lamps are now more horizontally drawn. That's a difference to the predecessor generation. And the M50i also has this additional lip right there for a little bit more downforce in the vehicle color, together with the M50i badge. This one here, the M50i, is that 4.4-liter V8 turbo petrol engine with 530 horsepower, and the acceleration figure is 4.3 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. The smaller petrol engine would be the 40i, the 3-liter R6, so 6-cylinder turbo petrol engine, 340 horsepower, 5.5 seconds acceleration figure, and then diesels for Europe, 30D, 3-liter 6-cylinder, 265 horsepower, or the M50D, the sporty diesel 3-liter 6-cylinder, same engine but 400 horsepower then, and 5.2 seconds in the acceleration. So, what about this front seat area? First of all, inside the doors, Sensatec leatherette being used right there. It's a nice finish here. They stepped up the build quality if you compare to the predecessor generation. Hofmeister kink design element right there. And also an optional Bowers & Wilkins sound system with a really decent and nice sound. The M50i gets this entry badge and also sports seats. So there's a basic and a sports seat available. Yeah, but then here in the X6, just animal skin materials. That's really not looking forward to the future in 2019. So the X5 also offers Sensatec leatherette, which is more sustainable and animal friendly, but this one not available here for the X6. But the seat form itself is quite comfortable. M steering wheel here for the M50i. That can also be heated. That is, of course, a great winter function. As for the seating comfort, X5 and X6 are not too different, because different, the basic forms are just the same. Steering wheel can be adjusted like this electronically, and the only thing is you feel a little bit more cramped in the X6. Yes, of course, with 1.86 or 6'1", you can still sit here, still have some head clearance left. Interior overview, we know it from the X5, it's the very same here in the front. Sensatec leatherette dashboard, wrapped tightly, great quality and soft touch. Bowers & Wilkins sound system with this bow right there. There's of course an option. Then 2x 12.3 inch, and there's only this size then. So on the left side, digital instruments, also with the visualization of the X6 in the car right there. And also in the very same exterior color, like that they pay attention to those details. That's cool. Shifting pedals at this steering wheel. compact size, good grip handle. Then on the right side, also activation for the voice control, or also with saying, hey BMW, that's possible when the car is properly powered. Left side would be for the cruise control, and also this highway pilot mode, which is more sophisticated as it's more allowed in the US with more sophisticated functions. What about that rear compartment? Let's get inside here. First of all, inside of the doors, also with the leatherette cover, high build quality. Then we have those manual shades here for the kids. Yeah, there we go. And back again. Also very nice quality as for the door handles in the rear. The rear door does not open too wide actually, so getting in and out is not too easy, and also for installing child seats and so on. Same styling as in the front, and there's also this pet holder available. Yeah, I'm not sure if you really need that. It's a possibility. Probably everyone will rather use his or her own personal device, and crash safety wise, I'm also not always convinced of that. Problem of the X5 and the X6 is the package. As for the rear legroom, you see, I have enough legroom, yes, and also headroom. That works with 1.8 A6 or 6.1, so no compromise as for headroom. Yeah, the X5 does have more headroom in the rear, but it works here. The rear bench is also falling backwards a little bit more, but then again, that's giving you more headroom and also the legroom. But considering the length of this vehicle, this is very poor legroom, so it's a bad package, so to say. But it's still enough space. If you compare it to the X5, you lose height in the trunk right there. This is the downside. However, if you compare it to a sedan, for example, you still have this fastback opening to be able to access it quite easily. This is the split cover. You can slide forward like this. And pretty cool is a hydraulic strut here for this lower cover and the additional case underneath. So that's pretty neat. Here on the side with a 12-volt power supply. And we can also flip the seats from here actually, and they do flip directly. So that's also very nice. And then of course you could also remove this top cover. The liter figures actually differ about 65 liters to the maximum and 135 liters to the X5. And that means the figure then here for the X6, the little bit smaller figure, is 580 liters. And then with all flipped, 1,525 liters. Why would you go for an X6 instead of an X5? It's all about the styling, definitely this falling coupe roofline. That's why those SUV coupes are being built. It is of course somewhat a compromise, but you can see you can live with a rear headroom. That's okay, also for tall people. And also the trunk area, of course, limit a little bit in height, but still, it's an overall very well usable car, even for our family. So that works. Here the M50i has a stronger stance on the road, but altogether this new generation of the X6 is already stronger than before, and this illuminated front kidney, you should check it out in the other episode of the X6, is really very amazing and looks almost a little bit menacing in the front, definitely. So a little bit stronger in the styling also in general if you compare it to the X5. The interior has been stepped up as for the build quality if you compare it to the predecessor generation, so that's a major difference. More digitalized, yes, that's also a main change, and you can very well control the car also with the voice input for GPS destinations, temperature, and also whatever you want to hear or see. So please, thank you. We're just on camera here. Thank you. Yeah, that's always live on tape here on the motor shows. Sometimes, of course, just also funny for you to watch. By the way, I didn't mention that in the interior there will be a head-up display available as we used to from BMW, and at the moment they're also building among the best head-up displays, so it's also an option that is pretty nice to keep your eyes or your line of sight on the road. Hi, we are live on camera, thank you. So, interior then, great build quality. It's really a pity that they do not offer any sensor tech animal skin alternatives here in the X6. This one so far reserved for the X5. I think that's a wrong decision, definitely. Other than that, they've made a lot of things right with the car. Design is of course always a matter of preference. The rear is really, more playful than before, whereas the side profile looks a little bit sleeker than the one of the previous generation. There's definitely a lot to discuss with this car. The PHEV will probably not come with the X6. That one will be reserved for the X5 so far, unless there will be a high demand. The 40i will be a very important engine for the X6, especially in the US, and the M50i will surely also be quite important. The normal 50i will be phased out because when people went for the V8, they usually then directly went then for the highest horsepower spec then. So, a lot to talk about with the new X6. Which one would you go for? X5, X6? Or if you compare now the X6 with the GLE Coupe, we can also compare this episode, and I would like to have your feedback. GLE Coupe or the X6? Let's discuss this, and please continue with the next Autogefühl episode. Subscribe if you haven't done so far, and heads up also to Jonas for camera work, even though we have some disturbances on the motor show as usual. But again, that's live and authentic on Autogefühl. See you in the next episode.